presentation of TFNN. The Tom O'Brien Show is produced every business day. Tom takes your phone calls toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
Let's go to Al in Homosassa. Hey, Al, what's going on?
Isn't it wonderful? This gentleman here with the gold report, right before the market fell apart, ended up with PAAS. We had a 98% gain in a year. And, you weren't 99% proof like Irish whiskey, but we had a good gain there. You always told us to do what we feel comfortable with. And if I lose a little bit of money on the table, I will. But I know that I just pocketed $8,000 or $9,000 in 2 weeks.
That's a beautiful thing, man.
Now, Tom O'Brien.
Welcome, folks. This is Tom O'Brien of TFNN. We go 5 days a week. We go 7 hours a day. We go 24 hours a day on the internet at TFNN.com. Always remember, folks, whatever you think about, you bring about. Whatever you focus on grows. Hope everyone's having a great day, safe day. Let's kick into the end of 22, kicking in 23, and make it a great one, folks. Don't make assumptions. Learn to ask questions. It's always better to ask questions than make assumptions. You have the courage to ask questions until you're as clear as you can be. Once you hear the answer to that question, you won't have to make the assumption because you'll know the truth. Market-wise, let's take a look at it out here. We have the Dow Industrials up 70, NASDAQ down 129, S&P's off 12.5. Gold contract up $18.20, traded at $18.22 an ounce. We have silver up 34 cents, $24.26 an ounce. Light sweet crude flat, $79.54 a barrel. Notes and bonds. A 10-year note down 21 ticks, trading 112.13. The 30-year off a full point, plus 24 ticks at 125.13. And King dollar trading down 145 ticks, 104.169. Euros at 106. Yen's at 133.49. The British pound is at 120 to 1 US dollar. Our phone number is 877-927-6648. Give us a call, folks. Want to know what's going on in your world. In the world of the S&Ps, let's take a look at them. What do you have? Well, bottom line, we have ABC structures down in all the indices, folks. I suspect what you're going to have here, the SPY's trading sideways down. It's down $1.20. Now, what the SPY did do, okay, so the SPY broke the B point, broke it with volume. The B point inside the SPY is 377.85. We broke that, and we did 100 million shares versus 74 million. Now, what the SPY did do is that got on the other side, meaning the north side of the B point, the bottom of the B point, which is at 377.85. That turns it into a complex ABC down. Now, all that means, a complex ABC down means this, folks. First, you break the B point. Then you can go higher than actually the C point. You can go up to the C point. But as long as you're going up there and the volume is contracting again, that's still a complex ABC structure down. And that's what we have. Inside of the Q, different ballgame, because the Qs are the weakest indice out there. The Qs broke the B point last week, broke it with volume, and never could get back on the other side of the B point. The B point inside the three Qs, folks, is 266.95. We're at 263.85. The B point had 51 million shares traded. We broke that with 60. Bottom line, this ABC structure down is a price projection of 244, and you can see that the low establishes 254.27. So the confirmation of that ABC structure down is saying it's not only going to go to it, it wants to break it. So we'll see how this baby shakes out. But serious business. And if it's going to be serious business, it's going to mean that somehow, some way, this dollar is going to catch a bid. The dollar hasn't done anything now for about 2 weeks. Didn't break a low, but bottom line, you've been going sideways. How many days here? We get 5. Yeah, you've been going sideways for 10 trading days. We'll see how it shakes out. My take is that this dollar's going to get a bounce somehow, some way, and when that bounce comes in, that is when this market's going to basically do the next leg down. Now, if we want to see the next leg down, all you have to do is go look at Tesla. Tesla, I mean, it's in an ABC. Well, it already finished its first ABC down. I mean, it's pretty remarkable, man. I mean, when we take a look at this, we're talking about, let's see, 5? Yeah, about 17 trading days. We just went from $198 to $111. Okay, this baby. Let me do the numbers right now because where do you see this? Okay, so we have Tesla was 177.8 A to B times 1.382 would get me 233 points. So let's see this. I got to put this back because if you are a fan of Tesla, what you really want to happen here is probably a 1 to 1.618 ABC down. So here's your B point right there. Let me do this. 314 minus 314.66. Okay, so right now, oh yeah, maybe I got this wrong. 1 second. 314.66 minus 177.44. Yeah, okay, so what happened is this. So Tesla, the A to B, the first ABC structure was 137. Like we blew through that like without even thinking about it. So your next one is going to be from a 1 to 1.382. Let me do this again. So 314.66 minus 245.22. No, that's not it. 177.44 times 1.3. Sorry about this. I'll get this, folks. Times 1.382. That's a 245 A to B. Okay, so it's 245. I got to take off that number. So 314 minus 245. Oh my God, that's 69. Yeah, that's what. Listen, man. The next stop is $69. Now it's heavier than that because guess what? When we did this, you can see with $64 has volume. Now I suspect what we'll get, we should get some kind of a at $91. You see this volume in here? You could get a little, but you know what? This is going down there, man. This is like, there's going to be so many stories about this. It's insane. 60, yeah, that's where it's going, man. And we'll see whether it holds there. Because when you do downdrafts, folks, what ends up happening, it goes, and then it literally goes off the cliff. That's just, if you've been in front of a machine enough, that's how they go. Stay right there, folks. Come right back.
Currencies, commodities, and bond markets are as important as ever right now with how they're driving the volatility in equity markets across the globe, which is why it's a great time to try out Teddy Kegstad's Tiger Forex Report. Teddy Kegstad breaks down the Forex markets every Monday using his 30-plus years of experience as a trading veteran of futures, Forex, stocks, and options. Teddy releases his weekly Tiger Forex Report every Monday morning with coverage of all the major currency pairs, including the dollar index, the euro dollar, pound dollar, dollar Swiss, dollar yen, as well as many more, and he also has weekly coverage of the crude oil market and the 30-year T-bonds, as they both influence Forex markets tremendously. When you sign up for the Tiger Forex Report, you also gain instant access to Teddy's 60-minute webinar archive he just hosted, Forex Strategies and Fundamentals, What is Behind the Tiger Forex Report. For all the details and to start your 30-day Tiger Forex Report subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
Are you looking for a way to consistently add winning trades to your portfolio? Tom O'Brien is here to help. Tom O'Brien has been successfully trading markets for over 30 years. A frequent contributor to TD Ameritrade Network and CNBC, Tom O'Brien founded TFNN over 20 years ago to help educate investors just like you. Tom's daily market newsletter, Market Insights, is published every morning when the markets open to give you the competitive informational edge you need to succeed. These newsletters are packed full of Tom's advanced technical analysis and are geared to deliver comprehensive strategies for a successful portfolio. Get Tom O'Brien's newsletter, Market Insights, today and try all of our products and newsletters 30 days risk-free with our money-back guarantee at TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
Everything in the universe is governed by the Fibonacci sequence. This mathematical principle is responsible for everything from the most aesthetically pleasing artwork to patterns in the stock market. To stay on top of stock patterns you can take advantage of, sign up for the Fibonacci 24/7 newsletter at TFNN.com. When you subscribe, you'll get a weekly report from veteran day trader Larry Pesavento on stocks you need to pay attention to. And you can trust Larry's analysis. After all, he's got 45 years experience as a day trader. Larry will also provide daily charts, videos, and data on the key markets that he's tracking. Expect notifications from Larry on market movement you need to act on at any time. First-time subscribers also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, let us know and you'll get a full refund within 30 days of signing up. Subscribe to the Fibonacci 24/7 newsletter today. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
Welcome back, folks. Dow Industrials right now trading up 90. NASDAQ is down 120. S&Ps are off 8.5. Let's get over to our man, Mr. Basil Chapman, as we do each and every Tuesday at 20 past the hour. And don't forget, folks, Basil has an outstanding show right here every trading day, 10 to 11 Eastern Standard Time. Also, is a great newsletter. Now, it's very easy to get Basil's newsletter, folks. Come over to our website at TFNN. You go into newsletters. You're going to see the opening call right on the right-hand side. You can get Basil's newsletter for 1 month for $149. You can get it for 6 months for $695, which is a savings of $199 or 22%. And you get it for a full year for $1195, which is a savings of $593 or 33%. Now, they all come, folks, with a 30-day money-back guarantee. Basil does an outstanding job. If you really want an education of how the market moves, how the Chapman wave moves, come over, do it. You're going to get an education. We're coming into the new year. You know, make it about you learning more about the marketplace. Because you know what? It's a beautiful thing. Basil Chapman, what's going on?
Hi, Tom. Well, this will be the last interview on a Tuesday in 2022.
Imagine that, Basil.
Yeah.
Wow.
Quick year, you know. I think it's proportionate to how old you get. The older you get, seems like the years go quicker.
Yeah, that toilet paper roll's getting faster, man.
So we are looking at some. This is a very quiet week, and we can expect that there are a couple of little influences, but my bias right now is to see the Dow going a little higher, and that's going to be the test. How are we coming to the first? I'd actually like to see it going to the second week of January, because last year, I think it was the 5th of January that we made the high, and that's been the yearly high. So I still favor the Dow. I still think the Dow is, but the general can't lead without the troops, and that's really important. Hardly ever have I seen a rotation where the cyclicals move up and there is no follow through in the other areas, and that's very unusual. So this does make it an important period. So we are still remaining long. We've been able to pick almost all the lows this year that are of importance, and that's in the Dow. And so far, it's holding the 200-period moving average. Today was important. The day's young. We've still got, 35, 40 minutes to go. I would like to see the Dow close towards the high of the day and have a higher high tomorrow. The only reason is why I'm focusing on this is that the weekly chart in the middle, let me show you. I've got on the left side the Dow daily, and you can see there were two vertical lines here, that the high that was made in December the 1st, and then the high that was made on the 13th, which was slightly higher, did not have the same technicals. It was much weaker on that rally. So we pulled back. We've held the 200-period moving average. So now I'll move over to the weekly chart. And if I look at the weekly chart just purely with no biases whatsoever, I'm just looking at it and I total up all the positives. The 9-period moving average, I call it the 914 crossover, is still very positive. The weekly chart did make a high and it's pulled back quite sharply, but it's held the black line, the 14-period moving average. It's held this. Let me just move this chart over, because this, I think, is a really important. I showed this to you with some of the indices the other day where I showed you the trend line, the weekly chart. Well, look, the Dow is the only one that popped right out of the weekly chart resistance. I call this the inside track repellent zone. Now it's a propellant zone, and you can see this little cluster over here. We're holding very nicely so far. The MACD is strong. Stochastic has gone under 80%, but it's not really negative. It's at 77%. I'm always worried about the on-balance volume. When I don't get follow through on the upside, you can see right here, look how nicely the rally went to the high that was made. I think that was the August, the August high, the week of the 19th. And the MACD was good. Stochastic popped over 80% just briefly and then pulled back. But the blue line is the unbalanced volume. I like to see that moving with the price, and at this point it should be closer to the highs, and it's not. That to me is a negative, but I'm also looking at the price holding very well. And if you look at the monthly chart, on the right is the monthly chart.
Yes.
We have popped out of the resistance. We've got just a couple of sessions to go, and so far this L says that the 9-period moving average has crossed positive on the monthly chart. That's the first time in months that it's done that. And that should be a good sign. So we've still got a few days to go. That L can disappear if everything starts to, if the Dow starts to pull back over the next couple of days, going into Friday's close at 4 o'clock. So I like the Dow, but if you do exactly the same work on the S&P, look, the S&P, very weak. The daily chart is much weaker. It's underneath key moving average. It's not even close to the 200-period moving average in the daily. It's underneath this repellent line that's been just consistently, every time it's run up to this inside track repellent zone, it's been pushed back. And the monthly chart looked like it was improving, and it's not. And I can do that. That's the S&P, which is weaker than the Dow. The QQQ is weaker than the S&P, and you can see it's pulled back very sharply in the daily chart right here. All the indicators are negative, all the tools, and it got repelled by this inside track weekly chart and the monthly chart. You can see. So I agree with you. This is a weak chart, but a weak series of different indices. But I do like the Dow, and I think that the Dow can't save the day, but I think it's really important that if the Dow did manage to rally, you would finally get something like the SMHs. You can't have the semiconductors so weak and the market just take off. They need the semiconductors. So overall, there's a more of a bias of negativity going into the end of the year, but we do have leadership in the Dow, and that to me is important, at least for subscribers, because we are long the Dow, and we like that category. But it is very selective, and this kind of selectivity is tough, because if the FXI, which is the China, this is the large cap ETF, which has actually come off the low very nicely. If this starts to rally, it could give some impetus to our market, because our market needs it. And you were speaking about yields. I mean, the yields gone back higher again. That's not a positive thing. So it's very selective, and that's the reason for subscribers. We're looking at more of the indices as just trades, but certain stocks, we're going really for low price, single-digit stocks, because some of them, especially in the biotech area, have done really well and still are showing buyers are coming in. So as I say, I think it's very selective. We're trying to be selective. And at the same time, our bias is to be long the Dow. We also 3 times long the Dow. We have a position in the UDOW. So
it's amazing, Basil, that it's like a year from now that this started the downdraft. You know, it's like, yes. Wow, man. I mean,
we're almost within a week of the anniversary, right?
Yeah, I know. Pretty amazing, man. Listen, folks, it's very easy to get Basil's newsletter. Come over to our website at TFNN. You're going to see hit newsletters. You see the opening call right on the left-hand side. You hit that baby. And you can take your choice, whether it's a month, 6 months, a year. They all come with a 30-day money-back guarantee. Great newsletter. You're going to get a lot of great education. And so, hey, how cold did it get up there?
Oh, it is really cold. It is really cold. It was below 20 yesterday. I haven't checked today, but it's also still pretty cold. What I wanted to say is it's interesting that the Dow got within 8% of the all-time high.
I know. Yeah.
In this kind of market, and that's what I'm saying. It's the selectivity. It's very interesting. Caterpillar, Deere. How do you get something's wrong? Cintas says there are some positives, and how we put this together is going to be the big issue for January. That Cintas chart is
positive. I know.
It's interesting, isn't it? Huh?
Yeah, no, it is. It is. It absolutely is. Well, listen, man, you have a great one. Stay warm. Stay warm.
And a happy New Year to everyone listening.
Yes, Happy New Year, Basil. Look forward to the show.
Thank you, Tom.
You. Stay right there, folks. Come right back.
If you want to take advantage of this sector, now is the time to subscribe to my Gold Report. The Gold Report is a comprehensive look at the metals sector as well as the markets that move gold, which is the currency and bond markets. New subscribers get a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to lose. Every Monday morning, I publish the Gold Report with coverage of gold, silver, bonds, the XAU, HUI, GDX, as well as more than 30 different mining equities. To see for yourself the types of profitable trades that are recommended within the Gold Report, sign up now by visiting TFNN.com. Don't miss out on the next great gold trade. Sign up today.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern. For free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
This segment is brought to you by Thinkorswim. For more information, just click the Thinkorswim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. The Dow Industrials right now trading up 84. You got the NASDAQ down 122. S&Ps are off 9.5. And we go take a look at some of the higher volume equities here. Let's see what we have out here. So Tesla's number one. That's down $11.96. You're talking about a fast ABC down. That was pretty amazing, man. And it is pretty amazing. Apple's getting smoked. We'll come back to Apple in a second. Apple's down $1.60, trading 133. Amazon's off 185. Nvidia's off $10.40. You got AMC trading down. That's trading down 30. That's at $4. That thing should be out of business. You have. Let's see, Google's down $1.75. You got Microsoft down $1.30. Let's go over, I want to go over these pot stocks. These pot stocks are going to be worth nothing, folks. So this is pretty intense, man. Yeah, these things are worth nothing. There was an article. So Canopy Growth, right? That's down 23 cents. Let's look at this. I thought I was seeing things. I was reading an article on Bloomberg the other day, over the weekend. Yeah, so it's breaking everything. It's breaking all the lows. Listen to this, man. This is unbelievable, folks. So there's an article, if you search this either on Bloomberg, it's either on Bloomberg or the Wall Street Journal. Might have been the Wall Street Journal. But check it out. This is amazing. So I think it was the Wall Street Journal, because what the headline was, that the largest black market for pot in the United States is now in Oklahoma. Now listen to this. This is unbelievable. Oklahoma, they did their first medical marijuana, and they gave out 7,000 licenses, okay? And what the article's about is like all of Oklahoma's growing pot. I mean, they're talking about tons and tons of pot, right? And what the article said, so listen to this, that when this started, pot was $3,000 a pound, and it's been as cheap as $400 a pound. Yeah. So Oklahoma is going to lead the way on, bottom line. We know what commodities are. I've talked about this before because, it seems like, if we go back 3 or 4 years, no, let's go back 5 years, I guess. Well, no, I'll be able to tell by looking at CGC because I'll tell you, I think I mentioned this story before, but because I was all on board too. Because let me see this. I'll be able to tell by looking at this chart. Okay, so if we take a look at this, I'm going to put this back. I'll put it back 4 years because I think I was into this like 4 years ago. Yeah, here it is up here. Yeah. So 4 years ago, yeah, I was. Okay, so 4 years ago, Canopy Growth was trading at $45, right? And what I said, I started looking at that. I said, you know what, man? So when you take a look at this, with Canopy Growth, see this right here, Smith Falls, Ontario? So I start looking for land on Main Street, houses, buildings, commercial buildings in Smith Falls on Main Street because of the fact that, they are the premier. My take is that they're the premier pot company. If you've got a cup, and I wouldn't get this, trust me, okay? But my point is this. What happened is that I'm looking up there, and then what ended up happening is that, I was looking up there in the context that, okay, if you have the largest pot company up there, you get a place that's beautiful, there's no doubt about that, but guess what? It's way too cold. That's what stopped me because what ends up happening is just like buying a car. You can buy a car, then trying to sell it. Okay, well, if you're trying to sell it a couple of years ago, you can do it in a second. But my point is that I gave up on the aspect because there was beautiful properties up there that not a lot of money. Anyway, I said, nope, I'm not going to do that because I can't picture people going up in the cold. Then this article, though, about Oklahoma is over the top. I mean, that's telling me that they're going to have a hard time ever making money. What will end up happening, I suspect about 10 years from now, what will happen is that there will be Chivas Regals and Black Labels or whatever type of, bourbon or whiskey that, you like or you think is a higher end, I suspect that's the only way they're going to ever be able to think of making money. Because if that's happening there, as more states legalize it, I think people just be throwing seeds out the window and you're growing pot out your window, right? I mean, you get the gist of it. This article was so unbelievable, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe that they gave out 7,000 licenses. Yeah, and Duffy's right. And what it was, this is all about tax revenues, right? They basically tax revenues. And I talked about last week about the one in New York. The one in New York is hilarious. The one in New York, the poor people that actually have the licenses are going to lose so much money they can't see straight because what ended up happening, and I suspect now I get, and Bloomberg had this article about the ones in New York because what happened in New York was that they didn't give out the licenses till a few weeks ago. Well, they were too late because what ended up happening is first they made it medically legal without giving out the licenses. And if you've ever known New York folks, New York has so many problems. I mean, they could care less about, a couple ounces of pot. They care about people getting killed and robbed and all of that, okay? And that's a legit deal. So what ended up happening is that all the bodegas in New York, man, you can walk into any bodega and get whatever you want, meaning, you want an ounce, you want a bag, whatever you want. And they don't even know they can't even deal with it. But now that story totally makes sense to me with the follow-up story in Oklahoma, because I got to pull up how many people in Oklahoma, but I can't picture 7,000 licenses. And that's 7,000 growing licenses. Anyway, get the gist of it. I couldn't actually, when I just brought up Canopy, I didn't realize it actually went from $50 to $2. And don't buy it. And because this is breaking everything now. And if you take a look at just look at this revenue. Yeah, the revenue's going down. Look at this. Look at this, man. Wow. Last year they did $520 million. This year, $470. They're going to lose $425 in 2023. $425 a share, and they have that's a lot of money. They have 480 million shares. Yeah. So $2 billion, right? So bottom line, stay away from it. If we go inside the Dow Industrials and take a look at the strength versus the weakness inside the Dow Industrials, point-wise, what you have out here, you got Caterpillar putting 19 positive points, Chevron 14, United Health 15, Procter & Gamble 10. Taken away from it, Goldman Sachs minus 20, Apple minus 8, Disney minus 7. We go into the NDX 100, and we take a look at the strength versus the weakness out here. JD.com is putting 4%, that's up. O'Reilly Automotive is up 1.6%. Pinduoduo is up 1.5%, and Booking.com is up 1.4%. Taken away from it, look at these numbers, man. Tesla down 9.7%, Moderna off 8.8%, Rivian off 7.1%, NVIDIA off 6.6%. Let's look at NVIDIA for a second. Yep. They had some big legs. That's a daily. NVIDIA in 10 days has gone from 187 to 141. And that low is wide open again. The last low that was established out here, October 13th, it's a high volume low, man. That would be just a mind, you talk about a mind blower. Volatility, folks, is here. It's going to be here for a while, so it's a big deal. Dow Industrials right now up 92, NASDAQ down 110, S&P's down 6. Stay right there, folks. We're coming right back.
If you're looking for potential trading setups in the stock market, then Rocket Equities and Options Report is a newsletter you should try. Tommy O'Brien delivers options and equity trades when the markets present them, using a combination of fundamentals and technicals. Sign up for Rocket Equities and Options Report today with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. For all the details and to start your subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
You might think that if you want to be successful at trading in the stock market, you're going to need a crystal ball. After all, it's impossible to predict the future, right? Like any endeavor in life, before you decide it's impossible, get some advice from the experts. You might find that it's not so impossible after all. For daily market overviews that give you direction on the key indices, selective stocks, and commodities, subscribe to the Opening Call newsletter at TFNN.com. The Opening Call newsletter is written by Basil Chapman, creator of the trading methodology known as the Chapman Wave. The Chapman Wave up-down sequence gives you an edge in identifying price turns, finding the peaks and valleys in stock prices. Get the Opening Call newsletter by Basil Chapman in your inbox every day. First-time subscribers also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, let us know, and you'll get a full refund within 30 days of signing up. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Biotech is booming, but for how long? Whether you think the biotech bull has room to run or has run its course, trade LABU or LABD. Direction's daily S&P Biotech 3 times bull and bear ETFs. Visit directioninvestments.com/biotech today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
TFNN has launched the Tiger's Den. Hosted at Discord, TFNN has been educating traders for more than 20 years with live programming hosted by a variety of professional traders during market hours. The Tiger's Den, available to all tigers and tigresses for just $1 for the year. There's no catch or added costs when you join our community of traders. Sign up today and become a part of this educational community of traders. Just visit the front page of TFNN.com.
This program is brought to you by Vista Gold. Traded on the NYSE American and TSX under the symbol VGZ.
Tom O'Brien.
Welcome back, folks. Dow Industrials right now up 77. The Nasdaq's down 116. S&Ps are off 8.5. And let's go take a look. You know, I was thinking about this over the weekend, and let's pull this up, okay? Because this is just bizarre, okay? So if we pull up the natural gas contract, we were getting calls with it last week, and I know a lot of targets like to trade it, okay? And, folks, I traded this contract for 2 or 3 years pretty heavily. And this is when the margins were like $10,000. And, you know, let's put it this way. When you look at they're back to $10,000, they're pretty amazing, okay? Because they had gone down dramatically. My point is this. When we were talking about it last week, is, and my take, we're going a lot lower. So what happens is that, and if we go from this, so right now the contract's traded at $5.17. And what I was explaining is that, yeah, this is the contract out of Louisiana, right? So picture this. What I failed to say is that, you know, I was talking about that, you know, I wouldn't be in this contract. I wouldn't be buying it. I wouldn't be selling it, right? What I failed to say, you should just not trade gas. That's the reality. And one of the main reasons, this is how I stopped trading gas too, is exactly what we have going on right now. That there's shortages of gas, okay, across the country because everyone's freezing, right? And if gas doesn't go up now, see, there's not a correlation between the aspect of what you and I would think common sense-wise. Oh, man, my God, it's freezing. Well, there's stories all over the weekend, folks, okay? They couldn't even pump natural gas because it was getting so cold. But yet gas couldn't even move. That should be enough for you to understand that your probability of doing good in a natural gas market is not good. That's my take on the whole deal. And so you take it for what it's worth. There's too many other contracts that you can trade, that you can actually trade with a responsible trading plan instead of just throwing dice. That's my point on the whole deal there. Because that just showed it over the weekend. Because I swear, so listen to this. This is how crazy this is. So our last day on the air was Friday, right? So we do the show Friday, and I wake up Saturday, and at the top of Bloomberg on Saturday, it says that, oh, my God, it's so cold that they can't even pump natural gas. And I'm saying to myself, oh, great, the poor guy that called and wanted to know about it. I says, no, don't even touch it. And I was figuring that I was going to open the Bloomberg and natural gas was going to be up. Well, it wasn't. And that just did it. That's when I realized that, hey, you know what? The one part that I didn't say, because I remember when I stopped trading, was that you just can't figure it out, man. So, you know, anyway, it's pretty intense. There's no doubt about that. Let's go take a look at, so we got Tesla. That's toast. Let's go take a look at Microsoft, because Microsoft has been moving the market around quite a bit. So Microsoft, you know, we're going sideways. The gap's still not filled in Microsoft. And you get an ABC down. Look at this. You get an ABC down. So Microsoft, your A point there is 263. You got 38. So you got, 60, 25. That's going to get you to 15. 220. What's this low here? The high of the low is 221. 220 is the A to B equals C to D. And I want to go back to Apple for a second and see if Apple's got an ABC down, because there's no doubt, you know, when we take a look at Apple, let's go bring this back. We know that actually January 4th or 5th was the highs of the market. So now let's just bring Apple back for a year. Okay, so what we did here, we went from 182 to 130. This is going to be dangerous if it breaks this 129. We went to 128.72 today, which broke it. Put this on a monthly for a second. Okay. This is dangerous, man. You know what's going to happen, folks? Apple is actually going to lead us down. That's what's going to happen. The rest of the market's already falling apart. And so it's, once it couldn't hold 137, 107 is on the table. And if 107 is on the table, Apple will end up going to 76, which is the highs of the lows also. You know? And, yeah, Boyle's the same way, B-O-I-L, I believe. Let me see what this is. Boyle is, this is the 200%. Yeah, this is the don't trade it. I'm telling you about it. Do whatever you want to do, but your money. But Boyle's the same thing as UNG. The only difference is that the 200% move of it, you know. So when we just did Apple there, you can see the aspect. If Apple is more than likely going to be coming out with numbers, you know, their Christmas numbers, and their Christmas numbers, I suspect, are not going to be what the market is looking for. You know, it's not that Apple is, Apple, let me see what they're saying here. So they're saying they're going to do, this is their biggest quarter. They're going to say that they want to do $122 billion. And we won't know that. This is pretty good, though, till the 27th of this month. No, of January, rather. But this is the yearly low for Apple. What I suspect could happen, Apple's still saying they're growing pretty good. You know, I suspect what they'll say, if it's the 27th, is that if they don't come in, if their numbers don't come in, they will have a warning. And if they have the warning, that'll start the next leg down. Yeah, it has one of our targets saying they always sandbag, and they do always sandbag. That's for sure. And they have plenty of money to buy back stocks, which makes a difference also. But all of that said, guess what? We're going south, man. This is, you know, you're going to see, I suspect we're going to have a weak market, you know, all this week. And the real key is going to be this Thursday and Friday, because what's going to happen with money managers, they have some decisions to make. And they're going to want to make them before the year starts, or when just the year starts. And that's going to be getting some losses. They're not going to have to be worried about losses this year, okay? There's losses everywhere. So we'll see exactly what they want to sell versus what they want to buy, you know? So it's a big number, folks. That's the bottom line. And you can expect, so you got to remember how this works. Money managers get paid on most of them 2% of whatever the gross is, whatever the gross is on your deal. And then it's going to be an aspect, okay, how do they want to start off 2023? That's the real kicker here. That's the bottom line. Dow Industrials up 50, Nasdaq's down 136, S&P's off 13.5. Stay right there, folks. We'll come right back.
Technology around us is changing every day. With so much happening, it can seem impossible to keep up with all the information. David White's investment newsletter, The Technology Insider, is designed to give you all the information you need to understand the technology that shapes today's markets and tomorrow's future. David White has made his living staying on the cutting edge of technology. His weekly newsletter will give you specific recommendations for value tech stocks, as well as entry prices, target prices, and stops to set for each trade. Dave delivers his weekly newsletters every Friday with updates throughout the week. You can get the Technology Insider at TFNN.com for only $37.50. Sign up for David's newsletter, The Technology Insider, and get an inside look at everything the technology sector has to offer. Try it risk-free today with our 30-day money-back guarantee. TFNN, educating investors.
You might think that if you want to be successful at trading in the stock market, you're going to need a crystal ball. After all, it's impossible to predict the future, right? Like any endeavor in life, before you decide it's impossible, get some advice from the experts. You might find that it's not so impossible after all. For daily market overviews that give you direction on the key indices, selective stocks, and commodities, subscribe to the Opening Call newsletter at TFNN.com. The Opening Call newsletter is written by Basil Chapman, creator of the trading methodology known as the Chapman Wave. The Chapman Wave up-down sequence gives you an edge in identifying price turns, finding the peaks and valleys in stock prices. Get the Opening Call newsletter by Basil Chapman in your inbox every day. First-time subscribers also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, let us know, and you'll get a full refund within 30 days of signing up. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Everything in the universe is governed by the Fibonacci sequence. This mathematical principle is responsible for everything from the most aesthetically pleasing artwork to patterns in the stock market. To stay on top of stock patterns you can take advantage of, sign up for the Fibonacci 24/7 newsletter at TFNN.com. When you subscribe, you'll get a weekly report from veteran day trader Larry Pesavento on stocks you need to pay attention to. And you can trust Larry's analysis. After all, he's got 45 years experience as a day trader. Larry will also provide daily charts, videos, and data on the key markets that he's tracking. Expect notifications from Larry on market movement you need to act on at any time. First-time subscribers also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, let us know and you'll get a full refund within 30 days of signing up. Subscribe to the Fibonacci 24/7 newsletter today. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
Welcome back, folks. Dow Industrials right now down 30. Dow Industrials up 31. Nasdaq down 136. S&P's up 14. And yeah, there's going to be light volume everywhere out here today, folks. Let's just see indice volume where we stand. You're at 418 million. Yeah, you're gonna, end up doing 600 million. That's how this thing's gonna shake out. And look at the composite, though. They're selling the composite, man. The composite, you're at 3.3 billion. That's still light volume. There's no doubt about that. What you have, though, is the pressure is going to continue coming into the end of the week. Bottom line. Tommy had a great quote this morning, and it was like, okay, so, if you didn't know this here, I'll put this up. Intraday, last night, folks, okay, the futures were up good. Now, where do you see this, man? The futures at 3,900. Yeah, 39 flat out. Look at this, 39. We're at 38.56, 3,900. And he was saying, like, okay, tell me why the futures should be up at 3,900, meaning because it was up about 40 points, just in a day. Well, we know what it is. That's just... What does happen is this. Large institutions, folks, can push those futures up all night long because there's only a couple futures traders at those desks. You get the machines going, but they can push, and they're pushing to short. That's what they're doing. They'll push, try to get as many people on board as they can, and then, boom, just give it to them and give it to them good. That's how it works, man. You know what I mean? And, when you're on one of those desks with unlimited amounts of money, it's very easy to push the futures around 10 or 20 points in the middle of the night. That's the reality. You and I, there's no way we can do that. Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley, the big hedge funds, they can do it. That's something they can do and something that they're very good at, right? Always remember, folks, the bear can claw your heart out, the bull can run you over, and thank God there's always another trade. Health, happiness, and prosperity. Have a great night, folks. Have a safe night. Come back and visit us tomorrow morning, 9 o'clock. That's right. It's time to chill, man. I want to know how we get all those things, Jay. I'm going to get them. We'll get them, folks.